I'm going to show you 4 different ways to multiply the same problem, 3 and 4/10 times 1 and 3/10. The first way is using a rectangular array, which is a conceptual model. I'm going to take 3 and 4/10 and I'm going to draw 3 holes. This is 1 hole, 2 hole, 3 hole flats, and I'm going to draw 4/10 using rods. This is 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10. I'm going to change colors to make it easier to see that this side of my rectangle needs to be 1 and 3/10 long. So I have one hole right here. I'm going to go over the one I already have. This length is 1 hole, and then it's going to have 1/10, 2/10, 3/10 this way. I have to fill in the rest of my array to make it a rectangle, so I'm going to copy 1, 2, 3/10, 1, 2, 3/10, and then I'm going to fill in hundredths here where these 2 tenths come together. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 hundredths for each line. If I look at my picture, I have 3 whole squares. I have 3, 6, 9, 10 tenths, which would give me another hole, plus 3 more tenths. So I have 1 hole and 3 more tenths. Again, that's 10 tenths make 1 hole with 3 tenths left over. And then I have 12 hundredths over here. Add them together, and I have 4 and 42 hundredths. And that's what it would look like if I were to cover, let's say I had 1 and 3 feet of material times 3 and 4/10 feet of material. My area would be 4 and 42 square feet of material. With the area model, I can use the same numbers, but this time I'm going to decompose my numbers and get 3 and 4/10, and 1 and 3/10. I'm going to multiply 1 times 3 holes is 3. 4/10, one group of 4/10 is still 4/10. 3 groups of 3/10 would be 3, 6, 9/10. 3/10 of 4/10 is taking a portion of 4/10, so it's going to be even smaller. So it's going to be 12 hundredths. Let's add all of these together. I'm going to use zeros as my placeholders to make it easier to add. And I still get 4 and 42 hundredths as my answer. I've gone from pictures to numbers. And now I'm going to go over to what I already know about whole numbers to help me using a strategy called compensation. I already know how to do 34 times 13. I'm going to hold my tens place here by multiplying by 10. So my answer for the whole numbers would be 442. To go from 3 and 4/10 to 34, I would have to multiply that by 10. This is 10 times smaller than this number. 1 and 3/10 is 10 times smaller than 13. So overall, my product over here should be 10 times 10 smaller. It's 100 times smaller than this answer. This answer needs to times 100 will give me here. So let me make this 100 times smaller, which would be 4 and 42 hundredths. This is reasonable because if I estimate 3 times 1, it's going to equal 4, not 40 or 400. For the algorithm, solve it the same way. Count the number of spaces past the decimal. Do the same thing in the answer, and that's where the decimal goes. Oops, there you go. Count the number of spaces past the decimal, and that's how many spaces in the answer. This is why this works.